So in many ways I'm almost inordinately excited to start this series. So this is an older slide rule. This was my grandfather's. You can see his name is engraved up here in the corner. His name was David H. Duncan, and he was a civil engineer at the Fresno Waterworks. He died when I was 5 years old, but in many ways I've followed in his footsteps. He had his professional engineering license. I've gotten mine, although I'm in electrical, not in civil. And I inherited his RPN calculator, which kind of sparked my interest in calculators, and of course his slide rule here. Now, slide rules have been around for quite some time. I want to say the 16 or 1700s, shortly after the use of logarithms was invented, and that's really what makes slide rules work, is logarithms. And that's just simply because of this one property. The log of a times b is equal to the log of a plus the log of b. So that allows you to take two numbers and to, instead of multiplying them together, you take the log of them and then you can add them together. So you can add distances kind of like on a ruler and find out what the product of those numbers is, or the division to do the reverse. And as one of my old engineering professors said, not everybody can multiply, but any fool can add. So that's this is kind of an old engineering tool that has a lot of functions. If we'll go ahead and look down this list here, your main ones are going to be C and D. So those are the ones that you're going to use to multiply things, and then that'll play into division as well. You have a DF and a CF, and those are the same as the C and D scale, except they're folded. So they start at pi, which is useful for a number of reasons, but also allows you, as you make these calculations, to be able to fold into a different number instead of running out of room on this stick. You have your CI, which is the reciprocal of the C scale, so it allows you to find reciprocals, 1 over a number, very easily. And CIF is similar. You're just finding the reciprocal with a folded scale. You have L, which is useful for logarithms. So finding the log of any number, base 10, will give you this scale. Will read that out for you. You can find any number to the power of 10 by using the LL1, the LL2, and the LL3 scales. And if we flip it over to the other side, we've got a whole plethora of functions on here too. Now, some of the important ones to me are the A scale, which are going to be squares and square roots. Your K scale, which is going to be the cubes and cube roots. D is the same as on the other side. You have S for sine and cosine. You have ST for small angles of sine and tangent. And then you have your T, which is your tangent scale. So those are the important ones. You've got this center stick that slides back and forth. Mine's just a little bit rough from not having been used for so long. And then you have your hairline that moves back and forth. And it's pretty precise, very precise tool. These were made very lovingly with precise specifications. Now, one thing to note is that as you do these calculations, your brain is going to be relied on for keeping track of your decimal points. So you get a number, you don't know where that decimal point is. If you multiply two numbers together, you have to know where it's going to go. You're just going to get a number, and then you have to figure out or estimate where that decimal point is going to go. And with practice, that's pretty easy. It's only going to be as accurate as your eye and your hand. If you are sloppy with aligning your numbers, then your end result is not going to be very precise. If you are trying to carry out your calculations to 10 decimal places, well, this is not going to work. I did have, shall I say, a more experienced engineer who's been around for a while tell me that he used to have a slide rule that was over 3 feet long so he could make more precise calculations. But yeah, unless you have a very, very good eye, then you're not going to be super precise to more than a couple of decimal places by trying to line up that hairline and the slipstick. That's the other thing. This is also known as a slipstick. I think that's pretty cool. Now, as I go through these videos, I did want to make a couple of apologies. One, you'll see that there is a glare, and I'm trying to monitor the video and the glare and my calculations and where my hands are all at the same time, and I apologize when I fail at that. I'm not going to be able to align Sometimes this to the camera or the glare might be throwing you off. So apologies in advance, and also I'd just like to apologize that I'm not very quick at this thing. So I have not practiced much. I'm familiar with it mainly because of a book by Isaac Asimov, of all persons, who wrote a nice book on slide rules. So I'm familiar with the functions of slide rules, but I just haven't had much of a need to use it very much in practice. So I am excruciatingly slow, and I have heard of many people who used to be able to do these calculations, chained calculations, much faster than someone using a calculator, or at least comparable to. I am not that person. So I am slow, I'm trying to be precise, and please bear with me as we go through that. But I hope you enjoy this series of videos.